Scorpius Rex, Indominus Rex, Indoraptor, Distortus Rex, and Mutadon. What is it that they all have in common? Well, they're hybrids. Animals created by spliced together DNA from other animals. While the common argument is that technically every single dinosaur ever presented to us throughout the Jurassic franchise are technically hybrids, because all of the missing DNA gaps have been filled in by current animal genome. But just because there's a little bit of bullfrog DNA in a Tyrannosaurus Rex, you don't see that T-Rex hopping around and ribbiting here, but instead we are shown that the dinosaurs actually adapt to the traits of what DNA they were given, such as the dinosaurs being able to change their sex in a single sex environment, meaning that the animals in time gain the ability to breed. However, we are not talking about the hypothetical hybrid of the Jurassic franchise. We are going to be talking about the actual hybrids of the Jurassic franchise, starting with Jurassic World. We are introduced to our first ever hybrid, the Indominus Rex. Now, the Indominus Rex is made up of quite a few different animals. I often refer to the Indominus Rex as Frankenstein's creation, and this list tells you why. The full list of species that the Indominus Rex is made of is, of course, the Giganotosaurus, Carnotaurus, Rugops, Majungasaurus, Therizinosaurus, Dinosuchus, Cuttlefish, Tree Frog, Pit Viper, Tyrannosaurus, and Velociraptor, with a few other species of unknown animals or dinosaurs mixed in as well. Some of the traits that we witnessed the Indominus Rex being able to use was communicating with other raptors, communicating with other species of dinosaurs such as the Carnotaurus in Camp Cretaceous, and also being able to camouflage like the cuttlefish using cuttlefish DNA. On top of that, we also witnessed it changing its body temperature so that it could not be seen using thermal imaging. Part of me even believes that Dr. Wu probably used a little bit of his own DNA in that Indominus, because that thing sure showed some intelligence. The Indominus Rex used these abilities to completely run amok throughout Jurassic World, which it eventually gets dispatched by the T-Rex, Velociraptor, and Mosasaurus at the end of the film. We then make our way to our next hybrid, which of course would technically be the very first hybrid that Dr. Wu ever did, which was the Scorpius Rex. Now, the Scorpius Rex was quite an interesting creature. Its DNA was consisted of Tyrannosaurus Rex, Velociraptor, Carnotaurus, scorpionfish, and tree frog DNA. The Scorpius Rex also has venomous spines on its elbows, tail, and neck derived from that scorpionfish DNA. We also get to experience this creature reproducing asexually, creating a second Scorpius Rex, which case they both end up taking each other out because they are hostile towards each other, which of course causes the two of them to take each other out, both of which are disposed by the collapsing of the visitor center. We then move on to my personal favorite, the Indoraptor, which is made of Indominus Rex DNA and Velociraptor. We know that this hybrid is probably one of the least perfect of all of the hybrids so far because of its inappropriate twitching. It just doesn't seem like it's well put together, and Dr. Wu even states that this animal is extremely unstable, and that using Blue's DNA, they could do a better job at recreating the Indoraptor using Blue's DNA, and possibly even use Blue as a surrogate mother, so that way the animal could grow up properly. As unstable as the Indoraptor is, we do get to witness quite a few interesting traits. One of the traits being intelligence in a way of pretty much playing tricks on people. We get to see it where it plays a trick on Wheatley, where it plays dead pretty much, and even smiles, which is something we have never seen an animal ever do in the Jurassic franchise whatsoever, which, one, not only is it terrifying, but makes this animal just as more evil. It does not actually give off the impression that this is just an animal. It actually gives off an evil presence. Now, while it does like to play with its food literally, it does also seem to have the ability to fake things. So we know that it can fake play, or playing dead, but we also get to witness it as it's shot by Owen Grady, and it kind of just stammers there, and it acts like it's weakening, and then it just decides to drop the act and then stand up, which in turn makes Owen realize, holy crap, I'm dealing with something extremely dangerous here. If a giant black werewolf-like dinosaur wasn't enough. You also get to witness that the bullets pretty much bounce off of the Indoraptor, as if its skin is completely hardened, like the shell of an Ankylosaurus. But of course, Blue, being the mascot of the Jurassic franchise at this point, quickly dispatches of the Indoraptor when they fall through the glass ceiling, and it gets impaled on the horns and spikes of a very spiky Triceratops skull. Jurassic World then seemingly dropped the hybrid act, which was quite nice for a lot of people, and gave us a new villain dinosaur being a Giganotosaurus, which was nice to see an actual species of dinosaur become a big bad instead of a mutated monstrous hybrid creature. But then they decided to go ahead and change it again with Jurassic World Rebirth, where we are introduced to a new type of hybrid. Before we realized that these two animals were indeed actual hybrids, they were labeled as mutants. I am of course talking about the Distortus Rex, or the WRex, and the Mutadon. While we are not 100% sure, at least to my knowledge and the research that I did, not 100% sure on what the Distortus Rex is made of, but we do know that Tyrannosaurus Rex is the main genome in that creature. As for the Mutadon, it's a little bit easier to tell because it is a mix of a Pteranodon and a Velociraptor, which during the movie we get to see its tank and we can't actually see it's labeled as hybrid, therefore completely taking away the theory that these were just mutants instead of hybrid. An interesting fact on the Distortus Rex is it's the first time since the Spinosaurus that our big bad dinosaur was not dispatched of and instead left to survive and do whatever it did, living its life as if nothing ever happened. And while the Distortus Rex is indeed quite the monstrous creature, it is not really thought that it's some otherworldly or even an extremely strong animal, as the fact that everything on the island still seems to be functioning as normal, except for the fact that it's got a six-legged dinosaur hybrid rancor xenomorph dragon creature that is just lumbering around, so it doesn't seem to be doing a lot of damage or wiping out ecosystems or anything like that. It just seems to be living as normal. The same could possibly not be said, though, about the next creature, the Mutadon. Now, I do label these as creatures because, I'm sorry, they don't look like dinosaurs to me. Now, the Mutadon is most likely going to completely wipe out the Velociraptors on this island. When you mix the flight of a Pteranodon and the speed and agility of a Velociraptor, you truly have a force to be reckoned with. Now that I've spent the first 7 minutes of this video just going over the hybrids that we have been given in the Jurassic franchise, it is now time that I address the question this video is centered around. Why hybrids? Why are we focusing so heavily on these Frankenstein-esque monsters when we could be focusing on actual dinosaur species that could have a little bit more of a true impact on the film franchise? As previously stated with Jurassic World Dominion, we are given our first big bad dinosaur since Jurassic Park 3 that was an actual living dinosaur. Now, while the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus was not scientifically accurate whatsoever, the Giganotosaurus was supposedly the most accurate depiction that Biosyn could have ever made, as Dodson says that most of the animals, if not all of them, are made to be more pure than what Dr. Wu produced because they had more scientific knowledge than Dr. Wu ever did. So instead of getting some hyper-intelligent monster of a dinosaur, we're giving probably the most realistic depiction of an actual dinosaur we would ever given. We weren't given an animal that wanted to kill everything in its path. In fact, when it was posed against the T-Rex after picking up the deer, all it did was bite at her snout, take what it wanted, and let the T-Rex walk away. It didn't give chase. It didn't really feel the need to because it did exactly what it set out to do, be the more dominant species. Once it set its dominance, it let the T-Rex go because what's the point in chasing it down and killing it? It didn't need to. It had what it needed, which was the deer, and then it walks away, which in my opinion made the Giganotosaurus probably one of the best villain dinosaurs, if you even want to call it a villain, we've ever had. And as the age-old saying goes, what Dr. Wu giveth, Hollywood taketh away. We are given quite a decent fight between the Tyrannosaurus and the Giganotosaurus, to which the Therizinosaurus then has to make a hero appearance, and then the Giganotosaurus is very quickly dispatched by a T-Rex throwing the Giga into the claws of the Therizinosaurus, quickly ending the life of the Giga. An ending that I truly feel was absolutely just not fair. We had probably one of the best looking design dinosaurs I think Jurassic has ever really seen, and that is my personal opinion. I'm sure other people disagree, but we had an animal that truly did look absolutely terrifying, and it was truly a shame to just see it killed in such a quick and, let's be honest, half-assed fashion. While Dominion is one of those movies that, you know, it's definitely a mixed bag when it comes to the fan base. You're going to find a lot of people who dislike it, and then you're going to find people like myself who I enjoyed it just for the sheer fact that it gave us really cool-looking dinosaurs. And, of course, one of my favorites, the Therizinosaurus, a dinosaur that you know I never shut up about in the early days of Jurassic World Evolution and Jurassic World Evolution 2. Honestly, I could see the Therizinosaurus making quite a decent villain dinosaur for a movie, and what would make it even cooler is it's not even a carnivore. It looked like it could be a carnivore, but indeed was an herbivore. So having something like that, an extremely territorial animal that could be a villain dinosaur, but not technically a villain and not a carnivore, honestly, it could have made quite the scene. And of course, there are a lot of other dinosaurs that Jurassic could use as quote-unquote villains. You have the Carcharodontosaurus, the Acrocanthosaurus. Rebirth gave us a more scientific, accurate Spino, and honestly, I'd say more accurate T-Rex as well. A dinosaur that is arguably probably one of the best designs we've ever received. The point I'm trying to make with this is, why can't we focus more on animals that actually walked this earth, and not on these genetic nightmares that just keep getting uglier and uglier? Honestly, why do we need to have a villain dinosaur, quote-unquote, anyway? I mean, look at the Lost World. There really was no villain dinosaur. You had the buck and the doe, and half the time you couldn't tell if they were the protagonist or the antagonist. It was probably one of the few movies where I look at the human as the real antagonist. But let us be 100% blunt and honest with the reason why they come up with all of these hybrids. And that is most likely, drumroll please, merchandise. They don't really think about, would this animal work out in an ecosystem, or would this animal look like something you could see in a genetically engineered dinosaur theme park? No, they look at this in the way of what is going to sell the most amount of toys, t-shirts, lunchboxes. And while some of these animals look cool on our shelves, they may not look the coolest or be the most really what people are asking for in our Hollywood franchise. But this is really where I want the creative juices to start flowing in the comments, because I would love to know what you all think. What are your thoughts on hybrid dinosaurs for Jurassic franchise? Do you think we could finally stop with these genetic nightmare monsters and just kind of stick with real dinosaurs, or quote-unquote real dinosaurs? Or would you guys want to see more of these monstrosities take over the silver screen? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on this idea. While you're at it, of course, if you would like to maybe like this video and subscribe. I've noticed that some of my Jurassic World theory videos seem to be doing a lot better than what they used to, so I'm kind of interested in keeping these up. And on top of that, you know, it's just kind of fun to get these topics going. Of course, everybody's gonna have an agree or disagree moment in the comments, and I'm okay with that. As long as we keep it civil, I'm all right with that. Everybody's opinions are absolutely valid on this channel. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you guys so much for all of the support you guys have been giving me. We are now almost to 5,200 subscribers at the time of recording this video, and that is an absolute milestone. We just keep getting bigger and bigger, and I have all of you to thank for that. Thank you guys for watching. This is Brooding Gamer, signing out.